Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. Thank you for stopping by. I know I'm a little late to this video. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in terms of the schedule. I want to put out a video for every primetime game. However, the Sunday night falls at a weird time. I think a lot of people spend their day watching football on Saturday and Sunday, and to watch a video is probably not on the high list of priorities. So I think I need to get this video out a little sooner, but nonetheless, I wanted to stay consistent. So Dolphins Patriots tonight. Let's take a look. We have an AFC East battle tonight. I think the AFC East will be very competitive all year long, so it's good that we get to see some early action with these two teams. Promos for tonight that we should probably mention. The only one specific to this game that I could find is on Barstool. You bet $20 on a player to score a touchdown. If they do not score, you get $10 back. Other promos exist on these sports books for NFL, so if you want to use them on tonight's game, I don't blame you. But as far as specific to this game, this was all I could find. Patriots do get back-to-back home games, and the Dolphins are on the road for the second week in a row. Kind of unfortunate there. It is going to be played in Gillette Stadium, but the weather looks perfect. Looks like a great night for football. Last week, like I said, the Dolphins went to the Chargers, and they were in a track meet. That's a lot of points for the National Football League. They allowed the Chargers to run all over them, but they passed for 300, 400 yards, did Tua Tagovailoa. Hill had over 200 yards. So I'll be interested to see how that comes to translate versus the Patriots, who did not really let the Eagles get going on offense. The Eagles scored 16 points in the first quarter and then were held to 9 for the rest of the game. So I think Belichek does a fantastic job year in and year out preparing for team strengths and taking that away. So that is something I'm looking as I kind of handicap this game. So looking at the Dolphins last week, again, they were pretty horrible in the red zone and against the run. Again, I'm trying to make this video quick. I usually have all the data. I will do that for Monday night and moving forward here. If you want to check that out, I use lineups.com. That's where I get the information for those. So I just want to see tonight if the Dolphins have shored up that run defense against a team that boasts two powerful backs in Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott. Also, I looked up Tua's record versus the Patriots since this is a division rival. 4-0, which shocked me. Tua is undefeated against the Patriots. Now, looking at his statistics, not all that great. So they've managed to get the job done, but 3 of those have been in Miami. 1 of them has been on the road, and the one on the road they won by 1 point. So I'm expecting a pretty close game, and I guess so is Vegas. Looking at the Patriots here, obviously the question is, after last week, can a defense with Belichick calling the shots, with a guy who has seen weapons like Hill and Waddle his whole career, he's got to have a game plan to stop it. So can they stop it? I think they will to some degree, but that is my question going into it. And finally, my question for the Patriots is, if they end up tailing in this game, if we see Miami come out to another hot start, can they keep score? Can they keep the course? So again, last week we saw them fall behind to the Eagles, and they were able to keep the course and play the game and end up winning, but they did so in the air. So if Miami can shut down the air, are the Patriots going to be patient enough to run the ball? That is kind of my worry, and that's actually why I'm staying away from some of these bets. So my lean tonight is Patriots at plus 130, but I don't think there's enough value there to warrant me to make the bet. 2.5, sitting right below that key number of 3. I don't love that either. Obviously, my lean would be the Patriots plus 2.5. And the total is sitting at 46.5, which I like the under. However, I'm not playing it. Again, these are all my leans, Patriots and the under. I think that number is right on the money. I think this is going to be a 21-24 type of a game. So I am not going to touch that over-under. But if I did, it would be the under. Looking at how this year has gone, yes, guys, we started off horrendous. I mean, look at all those losses, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night. But then last Thursday, a couple days ago, we swept. We hit all 4 of our plays. So again, you just got to keep the course. You have to play your promos. You have to stick to your units. We're not always going to be positive. We may not end the year positive, but I want to provide fully transparent information about how we are doing. So that is how we are doing. Let's look at tonight. Tonight, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple and go with 3 player prop bets. Durham Smythe, over 2.5 receptions. This is the tight end for the Dolphins. I believe that Belichick is going to have a game plan in place for Hill and Waddle to contain them, to hold them back a little bit, to potentially get them in a cover 2 man and zone. I think that opens a lot of underneath routes for their tight end Durham Smythe here. Over 2.5 receptions. Last week, we saw him get second on the team in targets. Tyreek Hill had 15. All right here. Waddle had 5 and Smythe had 7. So I love this line right here, over 2.5. I know that the Patriots contained Dallas Goedert in week 1. He saw maybe 1 target, but I think this is a different game. I think Miami has different weapons, different opportunities. So I like the relationship, the rapport that Tua has built with Smythe so far. Give me Smythe over 2.5 receptions. And for my final 2 picks, I know it's chalky. I know maybe it's a little too basic, but I'm going to ride this train. I was expecting Stevenson's yards to be somewhere in the 75-80 range for this game. So when I saw 50, it excited me. So 50 at -110 and Elliott over 24.5 at -110. I don't know how Belichick is going to use these guys, truthfully. All right, I think they see a 60-40 split. However, we saw Joshua Kelly and Austin Eckler get well over these numbers. The other side of this, and I'm not just playing this because of what Miami gave up last week. What is important to note here is I think you have to look at game plan. Belichick is going to want to keep the ball out of Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle's hands. He doesn't want this to be a track meet. He wants this to be a low-scoring AFC East battle. And to do that, you got to run the ball. So part of this has to do with Miami's poor run defense, but the other part of this just has to do with how I think the game is going to go. So give me over on both of their yards, which I realize may be against some correlation tendencies here. If one guy goes over, the other guy may not, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to overthink it. Those are my bets. Short and sweet for you guys today. That's what I'm rolling with. They're showing people ads. I was showing somebody my video on another device and an ad popped up. I'm not getting $1 for that. So if you guys can subscribe, once I get to 1,000, I can start gaining money from that, which will help me in my life a ton. I'm trying to be transparent. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to help you guys out where I can. So if you can subscribe, that helps me out immensely. I will see you tomorrow for a Monday night doubleheader. Excuse me. Thank you, Roger Goodell, for that blessing. We'll see you then.